All right, chapters 4, 5, and 6 of Emma Goldman's My Disillusionment in Russia. I actually kind of agree with some of her complaints. She's talking about after she's been out and about, she gets to a cafeteria that's being ran by a group of workers that are being controlled by the Soviet soldiers, the Red Army. And in this instance, she says the food is actually quite good. There's fish, a soup, a stew of some kind, and some meat. But she says that the cooks are not being fed what they're feeding the people. They're being fed a separate, much lesser diet. And so their heart is not in their work, and they poorly prepare the food. Fundamentally, I agree, right? I think these guys should be eating the same, but we have to also understand that they're in a famine, number one, so there's an extreme limit on the amount of food that they're feeding and what food is available. But she also did talk about how because their heart isn't in it, there's actually a lot of waste going on in the kitchen. And if that's the case, that something definitely needs to be done about waste in the midst of a famine. Later on, she meets with another member of the movement who talks about different leaders who are controlling different people, and basically says these people are still czarist fundamentally. They still behave and control the people like the czarist regime would. And it's not necessarily because that's what they want. It's because that's what they've been conditioned to do, and that's what the people are conditioned to do, right? These are old habits that cannot be broken immediately. And again, I see a lot of this as really reactionary and idealist. Obviously, there's going to be people striking and people pissed off. There's a famine going on. And you have to understand they were also about to go to a war. And so the state and Lenin being there in power and winning the Civil War is what brought Russia out of that predicament. Okay, and anything less of this would have been absolute. We can definitely look at the critiques of Goldman and say, yes, these kitchens should never operate this way. They should all be worker owned, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but we have to also understand that fundamentally this is a very early period and the very first steps of the state that ends up becoming the Soviet Union.